right, so yesterday went down to Charleston Powersports in North Charleston, South Carolina, and picked up one of the last remaining 2019 Kodiak 700 special editions in the Backcountry blue color. Was particularly looking for this color, and pretty much all of them were gone, unless they were way out west somewhere, that kind of thing. So all of them were gone for the state in which I live in. So took a little road trip down there, got a heck of a deal. Was way less than any other Kodiaks that were priced in my state. So that was another reason for making the long drive down there. It was about a 5-hour trip one way, but it was worth it. I've ridden for about 30 minutes total time on it. It's been raining a lot here lately, so I've been having to get a little bit of riding in here and there, and of course still working on breaking it in, so I'm not able to really open it up all the way and stuff yet, because I'm trying to do the right thing, and break the motor in and components and everything like you're supposed to do, just like I've done with all the other ATVs I've owned. That's a big part of longevity. So and once you hit your 20-hour 150-mile mark, then you do your initial oil change, and you can ride as you please then. But this video is just going to be initial impressions of the machine. I don't, like I said, I haven't gotten to take it on a real ride. So I'll be doing more reviews on it, a more in-depth review in the future. I just wanted to do kind of a initial impressions walk around here at first. I really love how smooth the Ultramatic CVT is in this ATV. It really, it contributes to just the overall ride quality and feel of the machine. This is to be the first ATV I've actually owned that has a CVT transmission, and I did a lot of research before I bought this machine. I researched the dimensions of it, the weight, all the kind of different specifications that it had and everything, and that's part of the reason why I picked this machine even over the Grizzly. I like the Grizzly just fine. It's a little bit wider than this machine is, so it's a little taller and all, and that's perfectly fine for the riding that I do and the areas that I ride. Though I wanted this machine because it has the same exact engine. The clutch tuning is a little bit different in it, but it can easily be upgraded to the same clutch weights that the Grizzly has. So it's no limitations there as far as if you want to do that kind of thing with this machine. But the turning radius is sharper on this than the Grizzly, so that was another thing that I considered. And but yeah, like I said, the Ultramatic transmission is just, I had driven several of these a few years back and done some test rides and stuff, and was just really blown away at how smooth the transmission was. It really, it's very responsive. It's always in the right gear, and it's, like I said, it just contributes a lot to how well the machine rides. But like I said, I'm very impressed with it. It starts right up really easily. Power right off idle is a big difference, than what the other ATVs that I've owned in the past. I've owned Kawasaki, Honda. This will be the first Yamaha ATV I've owned, and but it's just it's very immediate throttle response is right there off idle, and like I said, I haven't even, opened it up beyond half throttle because, I'm still in the braking period. So with that being said, that says a lot that power just off idle is right there for you to maneuver the ATV around, and you're not having to rev the crap out of it, to just do basic stuff, which is a good thing. I mean, you don't always want to have it full throttle for everything you're doing or it being a strain. One thing I noticed, that is an improvement is the CV boot and A-arm guards that you get from the factory. Now, these are plastic, but compared to what Honda put on my Rancher and even now what they're putting on, I still believe that these are in fact better protection when you are comparing factory CV boot guard protection for from one to the other, because these actually go up underneath here. There is actual coverage under here. Honda has upgraded their guards recently to try and protect the boots better, and they did a good job from here up than they did, like when I first bought the Rancher and all back in 2012. But they leave this area up under here completely open, and a stick could easily just go right under there and get to that boot. So that's an example of things like that I look for, when I buy something, and I could easily put on a set of ricochet guards like I did on the Rancher to protect those boots, because I did have some problems in the beginning with CV boots on the front getting popped, and those ricochet guards have really protected them. But that's one of the benefits of this. If you can get a machine like this and the guards are good from the factory and you don't have to upgrade them right away, it's a big plus in my book. And you can see up front here, you have your space here is nice and open for one mount a winch. There will be a winch in the future for this machine, but not any time. It's not a big rush right now because I've got a winch on the Rancher, and you're out riding together. At least one of the machines has got a winch on it, and so it's not a real big deal. I really like how Yamaha, they on the 700, the Grizzly, the Kodiak 700, they have this nice little cover here that you pop out. It's up under your front rack here, and you have you have your battery and your fuses, and a lot of your electrical connectors and components are all right up here, where they stay drier and less mud can get to them and things like that. But I do like the location of the battery because that kind of helps with weight transfer. I know these batteries aren't great. They're not like a car battery in terms of weight, but every little bit helps, transferring a little weight to the front end. And you can see one of the CVT drive vents right here. I believe this right here is the intake one, if I'm not mistaken, and the exhaust one is actually behind this panel here, and it has kind of an elbow that's turned downward like that. So they're mounted up nice and high where water and debris won't get into them as easy, as long as you have some sense about you and don't try and treat it like a boat. You can see all your vent lines and everything are mounted up high too for differentials and fuel vents and things like that. And in fact, the fuel vent is back here. Pop the seat up here. Get out of the way. You can see your air boxes right here. Got your 4 clips, toolkit, and your tire pressure gauge. Your fuel pump is right here on top of the fuel tank, and these have the fuel tank is mounted under the seat. It's about a 4.8 gallon, so it's just under 5 gallons of gas that it holds, which is gives you a nice range, especially with having a bigger motor. This is the vent. It's kind of got a check valve in it. This allows the fuel tank to breathe, but not allow debris and stuff to get in it as easy. But yeah, like I said, just stay tuned for a more in-depth review on it, because I want to get some more seat time in it and get it broken in good. Like I said, right now I only have, let's see how many miles are on it, 2.1 miles. And I really like this display too. This display is really nice, very intuitive. I like the clock feature is really nice to have, right there in front of you. And cycle through, so it's got 2.5 hours on it total, and that's just what I've put on it. I mean, well, actually no, I think when I picked it up it had about an hour and a half on it, so I've put about an hour and a half of running on it, but actual riding it, it's probably been more like only 30 minutes of it riding. I guess the rest of the time was just idling and unloading and loading it and things like that. But I really like the voltmeter too, because when it's running it shows you whether or not it's charging and condition, what it's putting the battery in. I really love the digital readout for the engine coolant temperature. That's a really nice feature. And of course you have your you have a trip A, a trip B, and a service trip meter also. So you got 3 trip meters plus an odometer, and all 3 of those, that's a benefit. I mean, I've got, like on the Rancher, I've got 1 odometer and one trip meter, and of course naturally you only have 1 odometer. So it's nice having multiple ones like that. It helps keep up with your servicing and things like that. And the one thing too on this unit is it has a receiver hitch that will accept the receiver hitch ball you use like on a pickup truck. And this one came with that, so that's a good thing. You hook right up your trailer and stuff and pull it around, and it makes it very versatile for doing work and things like that. So we'll be definitely using that in the future. I love how the suspension is 5-way preload adjustable. I've not moved the setting yet. It is on the factory setting. And just from what riding I've done, I've been really pleased with the ride quality of it. But I may play around with that adjustment in the future. So but we'll see. Right now though, I'm just enjoying it the way it is. And Scarlett is moving to riding the Rancher now. I wanted to get her something that she could, she had power steering and 4-wheel drive on, more ground clearance. It was more comfortable for her to ride than the Recon was. And so she'll be riding that mostly. I mean, we'll be switching back and forth and stuff. I'm not never gonna ride the Rancher again, or her ride this. I mean, we'll certainly swap back and forth, but this will be primarily what I'm gonna be riding though. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. This will be a new, kind of a new road with a, with Yamaha. Like I said, I've not owned one before, but I did a lot of research on it, and I really think they're good machines. I really don't think you can go wrong with them. Just like you can't go wrong with Honda either, for reliability. But yeah, just stay tuned, and be doing a full in-depth review on it, and you know, further impressions on it when I get more seat time in it, you know, and actually get some real trail riding in. So stay tuned, and thanks for watching.